The summer 2024 anime season has good anime, not good anime, stepsisters, regular sisters, fat elves, deer, twin sisters, more deer, Harley Quinn in an isekai. And meanwhile, over in Slime Season 3, they're still just having a meeting to discuss all of this. Anyway, let's go ahead and rush into this tier list. Alya, sometimes Simps in Russian, is an anime about a girl named Alya who hides her true feelings for the main character by saying them in Russian. Except he secretly speaks Russian too, so he understands everything she's saying, but he doesn't tell her that because then the anime would end. I do wish he would quit Stalin and hurry up and tell her that he knows Russian, because I think he could potentially have a very cute romance with his sister. Yeah, the real reason I'm watching this shit is because the main character's little sister is trying to launch a special military operation on her brother's dick. And that's putting it mildly. Every morning, she invades his bed while he's asleep, and now I think I finally understand why the Targaryens... Anyway, I thought the little sister was the best part of the anime, but I guess it's all relative. A tier. I insist that you watch this anime, especially if you're Russian, because, I mean, what else are you gonna watch? The Olympics? Plus-Sized Elf is an ecchi anime about a bunch of fat elves trying to improve their elf esteem by losing some weight. Now, this isn't a dating app, so I gave them a chance. And I guess the one positive thing I can say is that the episodes are only 12 minutes long, so it didn't waste that much of my time. But yeah, I don't see any reason to watch this unless you have a fetish. I won't judge, but personally, these are the type of women I would normally swipe left on because I'm just not sexually attracted to elves. I exclusively fuck gnomes. D tier. Tower of God was never amazing, but it didn't really have to be, because it was so unique that there wasn't anything else to compare it to. However, Season 2 feels a lot more generic than Season 1, and it's starting to lose some of its charm and originality. The plot points and the new characters feel like they've been copy-pasted from other anime, and even visually now, it's starting to look like every other anime because the art style got nerfed by the new studio. I can forgive them for making the animation worse, but the unique art style was the one thing that really gave this anime some charm, and they just took it and pushed it off a cliff. Don't get me wrong though, I still like Tower of God, and it isn't ruined by any means. I just thought the first season was better. B tier. 2.5 Dimensional Seduction is an ecchi anime that's so cultured I have to speak Latin to describe it. Veni. This anime has kinda the same premise as My Dress Up Darling, but they didn't waste time using bullshit like reason or logic. They just gave this kid a naked waifu and made him slip on a banana peel so he could land on her. And then they did it again multiple times every episode. B tier. Absolute factorpiece. Too many losing heroines. Not to be confused with Philadelphia, which has too many using heroine. This is a unique harem anime where none of the girls in the harem actually like the protagonist. Each girl has another guy that they're in love with, but each of those guys has another girl that they're in love with. So in this anime, literally everyone gets cucked. And that's just reality, boys. No matter how much of a Giga Chad you are, there's always a Giger Chad. But that doesn't bother Nukumizu-kun. He might not have a girlfriend, but he has multiple girlfriends, and they give him more action on accident than most people get on purpose. He's kinda like that undercover straight kid who pretends to be gay just to get invited to the girl's sleepover. S tier. I think this might be my personal favorite and easily the most underrated anime of the season. However, it isn't the best anime of the season. There's one anime airing right now that's just way better than literally everything else, and I can't wait to talk about this ad. Boys, NIKKE just launched a brand new collab with Evangelion. But for those of you that haven't heard, Goddess of Victory NIKKE is a sci-fi shooter RPG where you form a squad of waifus and then send them out to battle. NIKKE is known for having a very satisfying gameplay loop, a lot of awesome characters, and a surprisingly hard-hitting story. It's one of those games where I came for the plot, but I stayed for the story. They also just launched a new collaboration with Evangelion for their new event story, You Cannot Evade, which replaces Gatekeeper with the sixth angel from Evangelion. They also added 4 new characters to the game: Asuka, Rei, Mari, and Misato, who you can get for free. Of course, there's some really nice costumes available for each of these characters as well, including a school uniform costume that you'll get for free right after recruiting them. NIKKE has over 13 million downloads, and it's made it to #1 multiple times on Google Play and the App Store, so click my link in this video's description right now to download NIKKE on mobile or PC. Thank you again to Goddess of Victory NIKKE for sponsoring this video. Pseudo Harem is not your average harem anime. Instead of having 100 different girlfriends, this time the protagonist has one girlfriend with 100 different personalities. She switches from a tsundere to a yandere to your little sister to your dad. But despite how many different personalities she has, I think everyone agrees that her default one is the best. At first I thought this shit was kinda terrifying though. I don't know who traumatized me, but I was legit afraid of this girl until after a few episodes the premise is established and her relationship with the protagonist actually becomes the cutest thing ever. If you're a fan of romance anime, I would highly recommend watching this because it's extremely wholesome and adorable. Also, I hope they're paying this voice actress more than usual because she has to voice like 15 different characters at once. A tier. Suicide Squad Isekai is one of those anime that would have been so good if it was. Putting Harley Quinn in an isekai sounds pretty interesting on paper, but I think this anime gave me ADHD. Halfway through the latest episode, I realized I had just been staring at my door the whole time, analyzing it. Like, wow, my door is really shaped like a door. It's actually infuriating to watch this anime because whenever anything happens, you can just imagine 100 ways that they could have done it better. And it made me wonder if this was even written by a human. Oh. No. That must be a glitch. No matter how much I like the author of ReZero, and despite how attracted I am to Harley Quinn, I can't lie to you guys, this anime is mid. And in fact, I challenge you to watch this anime and just try to care about anything that happens. If you lose, you have to subscribe. And if you win, Mr. Beast will come to your house and give you $1 billion. And a blowjob. C tier. Love is Indivisible by twins. This anime is about two twin sisters that are both in love with the same guy, and they take turns dating him, but it never works out because one of the sisters is always left out. First, he dates the older one, which makes the younger one sad, so they break up and he starts dating the younger sister instead, which then makes the older one sad, so then they break up and now nobody— Stop. What if I told you that there was a way? A way for all three of them to be happy at the same time. It's simple. The sisters date each other. Jokes aside, I actually almost had a threesome once. I was so close. I only needed 2 more people to join. This anime reminds me of Domestic Girlfriend because the sisters are basically at war with each other fighting over this guy, even though they could easily resolve the entire conflict with a 2-minute conversation. But while I have you staring at the screen wishing this was you, anyone who subscribes in the next 5 seconds, Mr. Beast will bring all your dead family members back to life. C tier. My Dear Friend Nokotan is a really absurd gag humor anime about a girl with antlers who goes to school, there's deer everywhere, and a bunch of shit happens. S tier. Just kidding. I actually expected this anime to be a lot funnier, but sadly most of the jokes aren't gonna make you laugh unless you're of the age where you need to stay away from Drake. There's a lot of memes that seem like they would have got less than 5 upvotes on Reddit, and sometimes it just feels like the anime tries way too hard. I still think the first episode is worth a watch because comedy is subjective, so you might find it really funny even though I didn't. C tier is where I would rank this now, but if I was 10 years old I would have given it B tier, so I'm just gonna go with that because I was a lot smarter back then. Oshi Noko has a 2nd season airing right now and it's a fucking banger. S tier. While the first season was about forming an idol group, season 2 has the characters performing a stage play and refining their acting skills. And that's fine, but what has me truly invested in Oshi Noko is Aqua's revenge subplot as well as the underlying waifu war between Akane, Kana, and Ruby. Thus, I'd like to apologize to everyone who heard the blasphemy I said last season because it seems that I severely underestimated Akane. I didn't know she was crazy. I totally thought she was just a normal actress like Kana, so naturally I ignored them both and shipped the main character with his biological sister. But this season, I realized how crazy Akane truly is. Therefore, my mind has been changed and I declare her best girl. Unless one of the other girls turns out to be crazier than she is. Twilight Out of Focus is the new gay anime that was so gay it made Crunchyroll remove their entire comment section. Now, I don't think this anime was anything special, and it's definitely not for me, but it also wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. However, a lot of people are saying it's the worst thing they've ever seen, even though they've never seen it. And that's probably because they're tired of Western media always trying to force an agenda into places it doesn't belong, but in this case, I don't think that applies. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the intended audience audience of most BL anime is actually Japanese women. And me, who has to rank it on a tier list. But yeah, guys, I don't think this is the same as when Disney turns Darth Vader into a transgender vegan feminist. I'm pretty sure this is just another BL anime for straight women to get off to. So unless you have a hole in your body that you can get pregnant in, you probably aren't the target audience for this anime. Alright, that's enough of that gay shit. Let's get back to the incest. Days with My Stepsister. What a big year for Alabama. This is a relaxing, psychological slice of life with a dark yet calming atmosphere. And unfortunately, no one's gotten stuck in a washing machine yet. Basically, the main character pulls a 5-star stepsister who suddenly moves in with him, and now they have to go from strangers to siblings. To lovers. There was almost a sex scene, but the main character did that annoying cliche where he covers up the girl with a blanket and says, "We shouldn't do this." This anime also loves to create tension for no reason. For example, there's a scene that's just a full 2 minutes of the characters eating dinner with no dialogue, no background music, and no camera changes. Also, it feels like the characters can only move in slow motion. This anime is super relaxing and I like it a lot, but I need to wait for the last couple episodes to come out before I decide if it's worthy of A tier. It's good and it has the potential to move up, but for now I'm gonna leave it in B tier. The Elusive Samurai is a really good new historical shonen anime about a kid who can move extremely fast and dodges everyone's attacks. There's a weird contrast between lighthearted humor and the depressing brutality of this era, but the highlight of the anime is obviously the visuals. The animation is so breathtakingly fluid, I guess my only complaint is that there isn't enough fight scenes. Again, I need to wait and see the conclusion before I give this S tier, but it's really good so far and I would highly recommend it. Parry Everything is an anime that started with a pretty interesting premise. The main character is kinda like that last guy, except instead of dodging everything, he parries everything, including these hoes. The princess clearly has a crush on him, but he shuts down her every attempt, and normally I would respect that, but I think he's just too oblivious to realize what's even happening. In fact, he's so stupid that it kinda ruined the anime for me. Look at this guy. I bet he doesn't even know where he is. It's like the author tried to give him basic intelligence, but he parried it. This anime was almost good, but the main character is just so fucking dumb, I can't even find a word to describe it. Except for retarded, but that's offensive, so I would never say that. C tier. Wistoria, Wand and Sword is about a Magic Academy student who can't use magic, so he tries to brute force his way to the top with nothing but a sword and his massive pair of balls. It kinda reminds me of that Mike Tyson quote.
Everyone has a plan until you're punched in the mouth.
Because the main character makes all these mages look like fucking losers. Oh, you spent your whole life learning spells and reading magic tomes? Well, how about I fucking kill you with a sword? How about that? This anime is simply beautiful though. Not just the art and animation, but the directing and choreography feel like something out of an action movie. It's a really underrated anime, probably because the premise is kinda cliche, but I'd still highly recommend it. A tier. The Monogatari series just got another season out of nowhere, and Shaft obviously did an outstanding job with it. As always, this anime feels like you're watching a work of art. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of really good anime airing this season, but the Monogatari series is a masterpiece of a completely different level to the extent that it almost feels unfair having it on the same tier list as everything else. Every character is so well written that this season is still a banger even without Araragi-kun. Oh, yeah, the protagonist of the story isn't even a part of this season, so I guess now the only one trying to fuck Hachikuji is me. God tier. If you're about to go watch this just because I gave it God tier though, I gotta warn you first, it's not for everyone. It's a very abstract, artsy, and dialogue-heavy anime, and watching it is almost like reading a book. Be ready to pause the episodes a billion times, and oh, yeah, one more thing. The main character is, how do I put this? He's trying to strike a chord, if you know what I mean. Tensura Season 3 continued airing into the summer season after a very underwhelming first half with literally nothing but meetings. Last tier list, for the first time ever, I ranked this anime below S tier, and honestly, it got so boring that I haven't even caught up yet, so I can't rank it. But just for fun, let's check on the slime community and see how they feel about Season 3. Ah, yes. What's your guys' favorite meeting so far? I guess the next time I have to drive somewhere, I'll just put in my headphones and listen to Slime Season 3 like an audiobook. Spice and Wolf continued airing into the summer season as well, and guess what? it continued being S tier. I fucking love this anime, and it really makes me wish Holo could have been one of my college professors, because I don't give a shit about economics, but when Holo the Wise Wolf is talking, I listen. Also, in preparation for next season, I thought I should say that if you guys haven't watched ReZero yet, it's literally better than everything on this tier list, so please go watch that, because I'm gonna be posting a lot of ReZero videos next season. Anyway, I gotta go take a shit. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you as always for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.